I don't get how such an unbelievable act of selfishness has just sort of hardly been mentioned in the media. He's destroying the livelihoods of millions of fans. The consumers of fucking Apple, their weekend doesn't get destroyed if they buy, I don't know, AirPods and, you know, they're a bit shit or something, or they don't work very well. That doesn't destroy their livelihoods. But if Arsenal lose, that destroys their livelihoods. He doesn't even fucking need money. He's just taking money at the club and using it for his own financial gain. He's using the club for his own financial gain at the detriment to the livelihoods of so many people. I don't think there's many people in the world that hate more currently, because he's just a fucking cunt. Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to a video which I haven't really done in a while, just talking about Arsenal. You know, I used to do these match reviews, sorry. Still do them sometimes. I know most people subscribe for other stuff, you know, the twiffs, but I know some people want to see these. Some people actually want to see my insight into things that actually matter a bit more, which is football and not just fan channels. But I do have a video like that coming out tomorrow. Also, if you're interested in Arsenal and sort of things, I'm going to be doing a podcast. Well, I do an Arsenal podcast, if you don't know. That'll be brought out tomorrow with this guy. I'm going to be recording it tomorrow. But anyway, I just wanted to give a few thoughts on sort of the recent situation, because since I last did an Arsenal review, I think it was before Christmas, so quite a lot has happened, and yeah, it's a bit negative at the moment. I just wanted to address the game yesterday. Obviously City 3-1, a disappointing result, but was it unexpected? Not really. I went into the game expecting to lose. You could say that says something about the side at the moment, but in reality we are just so far behind Manchester City right now. They have had massive amount of investments into their squad, and they have a world-class manager, and he's been able to rebuild. Even in his first season he struggled, but you know, he's rebuilt the squad, and now they are one of the best teams in Europe. Obviously won the league last season. This game, yeah, I didn't go into the game expecting to win the game. A lot of people talking about Unai Emery's squad selection. Personally, I can get the frustrations, and you know, I think my main probably concern was the fact that we started with our 4-4-2. Initially looking at it, looking at the squad that was released, the team that was released, it looked like a back three, but it turned out it was a back four. Instead he opted to use Kolasinac on the left wing, and I think the problem was we had two midfielders. Guendouzi, very inexperienced. Yes, he played well, but he's inexperienced. He's played a lot of football this season, so yeah, he looked a bit tired in the second half. The same with Torreira. I think Guendouzi and Torreira, although they were our best two outfield players, they were overrun in midfield. Against most teams would be overrun by that midfield. You know, De Bruyne, Silva, Gundogan and Fernandinho essentially played as a midfielder when they had the ball. So it was 4 against 2 in there. So we were inevitably getting overrun. And I think that was a poor decision from Emery. I would have started Aaron Ramsey. in midfield. I think we needed a bit more energy, a bit more protection in that midfield. I know Aubameyang and Lacazette got back quite a lot, particularly in the first half, but in the second half they looked really tired. Yeah, I think that was probably my main issue with the starting 11, but I trust Unai Emery, and that's what I want to say. I don't get why people don't trust him. If you look at the strategy and the plan, a lot of people last season were saying, I just want to see Arsenal go to a big team and put in a very good defensive performance, and you know, it may not be as entertaining, but it's a bit more shows a bit more resilience. We haven't done that in the past under Arsene Wenger, and a lot of fans have been calling for that, and we tried to do that yesterday, and I don't think it was the wrong strategy. If we went gun-ho against Man City, we'd have got absolutely smashed, because our defence is terrible and our attack is not as good as theirs. That was the right strategy to implement. You know, we try to sort of play defensively, hit them on the counter with the pace and the guile of Aubameyang, Lacazette, Kolasinac and Iwobi providing good width, but unfortunately for Unai Emery, something that he can't really be taken responsible for was it was two terrible defensive mistakes. Iwobi dawdling on the ball, he was too hesitant. I don't know why he didn't clear it, but he just looks so unnatural on the right hand side. I don't know what it is, but he can't seem to play on the right hand side. He gives the ball away, Aguero scores, and then the second one, Lichtsteiner out of position, and then he lets a 1-2 go over the top. We know about Lichtsteiner. He looks every bit of his 34 years, but yeah, it was the right strategy, and if we hadn't had those two defensive mistakes and then the third goal, which was a handball, we might have got something out of the game. So I don't think you can criticise Emery for that. And why are people, how to even suggest Unai Emery is not good enough at this stage, or to not back him at this stage, which I know it's still a minority, but there are a few people starting to question it. It's laughable at Chelsea that anyone's even suggesting Sarri out. I know it's Chelsea and they have a sort of different nature, different culture on the club. There's a lot less patience, but a lot of them are calling for more attractive football. You know, and then as soon as they bring in a manager who's trying to implement that, as soon as it's not going quite well because the players he has have been playing defensive, counter-attacking football, so they're not suited to his style yet, and they're going to take time to change, and he's going to need to bring in a few players. It's the same here. A lot of people go on and on and on and on about Mesut Ozil. Would Mesut Ozil have made a difference yesterday? Would he? Honestly. How many times have we seen him put in a good away performance at a big team? Very rarely. In fact, I can think of practically none over the years. No performances where he's gone to a big away ground and he's put in a brilliant performance. It just doesn't happen. So why are people saying that was the reason? No, it wasn't. And people complaining about Mesut Ozil, you're just fucking Mesut Ozil fanboys. I like Mesut Ozil, I think he's a great player, but if he doesn't fit the vision and the philosophy that Unai Emery is trying to implement, then he can't be used. Managers shouldn't have to adapt their philosophy to the players he has. The players should adapt, and Mesut Ozil hasn't adapted, and if they don't adapt, then they have to go. So Mesut Ozil has to go, and the only way he can show the board that he doesn't want him is by leaving him out, and the board as a club can't afford to have a player on that high wages not playing every week. Player way, way, way above the average wage at Arsenal. So he's got to go, and he will go in the summer. And yeah, I don't have a problem with that. I know in certain games it looks like we don't have much creativity, but Mesut Ozil is so inconsistent. You don't know whether he's going to produce that creativity that you need. Sometimes he will, but it's not very consistent. It's 1 in 5. So I don't have a problem with that. If he doesn't feel that he suits his system and his vision and his philosophy, then he doesn't have to pick him, and he shouldn't. And, you know, he's learned from his time at PSG where he essentially failed because he was too nice with the players. He adapted, he played a 4-3-3, not suiting his philosophy in a 4-2-3-1. And I think it's the same at Chelsea at the moment. Players have to adapt to him, not the other way around. But the final point is, why are people blaming him? Because he needs investment and it's going to take time. If you look at Klopp, he finished 8th in his first season. 8th. Why is Unai Emery's inherited such a fucking shit mess that it's going to take a lot of time for him to rebuild a team that isn't good enough. The players are currently not good enough, and that's obvious. And it's going to take time, and people need to realise that, and it's going to take investment. But unfortunately, Stan Kroenke, which is the other thing I want to get onto, I don't get how he could sleep at night. I'm going that far. I don't get how such an unbelievable act of selfishness has just sort of hardly been mentioned in the media. You know, they don't talk about how what he's doing is unbelievably selfish. He's taking money out of the club. He's destroying the livelihoods of millions of fans. We have millions of Arsenal. There are millions of Arsenal fans who, yeah, some people don't really understand it. Will say, it's just a game, it's just Arsenal, it doesn't really matter. But football matters so much to so many people. It means a lot, and it destroys people's livelihoods. If Arsenal lose, it pretty much destroys your day, it destroys your weekend, it can destroy your week. And Stan Kroenke is taking money out of the club. He hasn't invested a single penny over the last few years of his own money, just so he can financially benefit. That is so selfish. I know as a businessman, it's good from a business model, but this football isn't really a typical business. The consumers of fucking Apple, their weekend doesn't get destroyed if they buy, I don't know, AirPods and, you know, they're a bit shit or something, or they don't work very well. That doesn't destroy their livelihoods, but if Arsenal lose, that destroys their livelihoods. So it's unbelievably selfish that he's using this. He doesn't even fucking need money. He's just taking money at the club and using it for his own financial gain. He's using the club for his own financial gain at the detriment to the livelihoods of so many people. I don't think there's many people in the world that hate more currently, because he's just a fucking cunt. And I hope he goes, because if he doesn't, we're just going to have the same old problems, and it's just going to get worse. And yeah, we need investment, and we need it from someone who actually cares about the club. I don't think he fucking knew that we were playing yesterday. Obviously, who cared about the LA Rams, who fucking lost. So yeah, that's about it. I just wanted to share a few of my thoughts at the moment about Arsenal, because I haven't done that in a while. Yeah, if you did enjoy the video, subscribe to the channel. I'll have a video out tomorrow on something, and yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.